Hello and welcome to the Circus Arena in Blackpool for the final day's play at the 21st Mosconi Cup. It's a race to 11, and so far the defending champions Europe are leading the charge and hoping to win again this year to make it 7 wins in the last 8 years. It's a big night for the Americans, looking to overturn a 4-point deficit. Will they fight back? Their new team lineup this year may well have what it takes. They thrive under pressure, and the Mosconi Cup certainly isn't over yet. After 2 sessions, the Europeans were leading the charge 6-4 in this race to 11 points. Day 3 didn't start too well for the Americans either. The opening game was a comedy of errors as John Schmidt and Justin Hall gifted opportunity after opportunity to the European pair of Carl Boys and Nikos Economopoulos, who ran out 5-3 winners. Then Justin Hall dug out a fine win over Economopoulos in the opening singles match. It was a tense battle as Hall held his nerve under pressure, and he ended the match with a difficult 4-9 combination. And John Schmidt's miserable night continued as he and Corey Jewell relinquished a leading position to allow Carl Boys and Mark Gray to extend Europe's lead. And the final match of the day saw Nils Fine take advantage of a nervy Justin Bergman to win the 3rd European point of the evening. Here's confirmation of the results on day 3, where Team Europe won 3 out of the 4 matches to lead 9-5. Justin Hall was the only American player to get a point on the board to help give his team a boost. This is a look at the order of play on the final day. Some may think it's just too late now for Team USA. However, back in 2003, they had a fantastic comeback to claim the title, proving it can be done. Remember, it's a race to 11 points, so we may not see all these scheduled games. Starting the session, it's Darren Appleton against Shane Van Boening. Then Van Boening stays on the table for our second game against Nikos Economopoulos. If it's all level at 10 apiece, it'll be a captain's pick. Tensions are mounting here in Blackpool as we near the conclusion of this year's Mosconi Cup. Time now to get back to the action. It's a key match. 2 of the biggest names in the game are competing. Both Mosconi Cup champions and US Open champions. For Team USA, it's the South Dakota kid, Shane Van Boening. For Team Europe, it's Dynamite Darren Appleton. Let's hand over to your commentators, Phil Yates and Jerry Forsyth.
This is it. The preliminaries are over. It's all about tonight. Who can get over the line? Who can become Mosconi Cup champions? And an unusual situation, Jerry, because both of these players are playing for the first time in 2 days. They weren't involved at all, either Van Boening or Appleton, last night.
Yeah, and you can imagine the amount of pressure on Van Boening's shoulders. I mean, he's certainly the man to carry that kind of pressure, but he is in a tough spot. He's got to win the first 2 tonight. Meanwhile, Darren Appleton has won the lag. So if it goes rack for rack, it's advantage Appleton.
This is match number 15. Europe to break.
Oh, he couldn't ask for much better than that. A great shot on the 1 ball, simple position to the 2, and every ball's got a pocket. Take a look at the way this table sets up for Appleton.
What a dream start.
All he's got to do is get on that 3 ball, Phil. After that, everything is open. And it's certainly no challenge to get on this 3. Six ball could get in his life, but cue ball stops. He's fine.
These two met on day one, of course. Appleton running out a 5-3 winner. First 4 racks were shared, and then he came good when it mattered most. And tonight it really matters.
Well, we knew this would be a quick one as soon as we saw that break shot. Always nice to get momentum on your side early. Darren Appleton has done that. He leads our race to 5, 1-0 now.
Welcome back to the Mosconi Cup. This is the situation on the final day. Team USA can't afford to lose any more matches as the Europeans are just 2 points away from victory. Down on the table right now, it's Darren Appleton against Shane van Boening, and the European has started well, leading 1-0 in this race to 5 racks. Let's hand back to your commentary team.
Well, this is a good opening, Phil. He's got a shot on that lowest ball. The 1 ball goes in the side. The blue 2 sets up nicely for the corner pocket, and the 3 is right beside it. Shane really couldn't hope for anything better than this.
Agreed, Jerry. It's not quite as simple as Appleton's run out in rack number 1, but he will gladly accept it.
Well, he wanted to be on the other side of that ball. Did not want to hit it. By the way, Phil, I was looking at Shane's cue before the matches started tonight. The cue is 6 inches longer than a normal cue. Most players play with a 19-ounce cue. That thing weighs almost 23 ounces.
Extension, please. Thank you.
Well, he's known as a heavy hitter, metaphorically. Maybe that's the reason.
Actually, the guy who started that trend with the long, heavy cue a few years ago was Earl Strickland.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
Shane tried it and he liked it. Potting well, but he still doesn't have that cue ball under control. He would not be shooting over that 8 ball. That looks pretty good there. We're tied at 2. Thus far, both breakers have taken their racks. At some point, to win, Van Boening has to break Appleton's serve.
Yes, theoretically, if they keep playing like this, the most important shot of the entire match might well be the lag. Combined, though, Jerry, these two have achieved so much. Darren Appleton, back-to-back wins in the US Open. Shane Van Boening, the only player to have won the US Open on 3 consecutive occasions, and he's won it 4 times in all. One of the toughest tournaments to win on the planet. They are warriors when it comes to the pool arena.
Yeah, the record right now is held by Earl Strickland. He's won a total of 5, although none consecutively. Shane has about 15 years to break that record. I think he's got pretty good odds of doing that.
Referee Ken Schumann making sure everything is in order. And off we go with rack 3 after Appleton has had a look as well.
3, your breaks 1-1.
One ball missed the side pocket, but the 3 ball went into the corner. The 5 went into the side, and he got a decent shot on the 1. Getting to the 2 is not the easiest thing that could possibly happen. You can see how the table sets here.
Does though the 1 go past the 4?
At first I thought it did, but now I'm not so sure. If I look at the overhead, it looks like it does, but this shot says it doesn't. Oh, no. Now he has the option of pushing out, but with these balls down here in the football and the foot area, I do believe he may choose a safety here. Depends on whether he wants to put some pressure on Shane right now. He can do it either way with a push or with a shot. Trying to get the cue ball down here behind the colors. He's done it.
Good crowd this. Really into it, but they're also appreciative and respectful.
It's been quite a crowd all week. And are they happy when their side wins?
Please. Thank you.
I had no idea that he could hit that ball. That was a nice long shot, but the 2 ball did not act very nicely here. He's got a shot on it, but he's got to let the cue ball loose. He was hoping to go safe if he missed that bank, and the safety part didn't come out. So what you're seeing here is a gift being wrapped for Darren Appleton.
Just a little shake of the head. The cue ball will have to travel some distance here for position on the 6. And on fast tables like this, the more the cue ball has to travel, the more chance there is for something to go astray.
Yeah, he'll have to send this around 3 or 4 rails. Oh, he's going to use 3, but he did it a way that I didn't have the imagination to see. The creativity of these gentlemen is always amazing.
And remember, if Appleton can win this rack, he breaks off in the next. So it wouldn't just be a 2-1 advantage to Europe in this match, it would be a substantial advantage.
Yeah, Shane needed to break Appleton's serve. Instead, it looks like Appleton's going to break Shane's, and that's the kind of hole that Van Boening does not want to try and crawl out of. This man is hard to come back on. Once Appleton gets a lead, his arm gets loose, and he just fires them in. It's 2-1 in our race to 5 here in Blackpool. We're going to make a bank shot. We'll be right back.
The situation at the Party Poker Mosconi Cup is pretty clear. The Americans can't afford to leak any points. And in the first singles tonight, it's the Europeans who hold a slender lead. Appleton 2-1 up over Shane Van Boening. Here is rack number 4.
This is rack number 4. USA breaks, Europe leads. 2-1.
We have a possible combination early in the rack on the 9-ball, if Shane can get there. Can't see from up here if it's dead in line with that pocket or not. Oh, that's close enough for Shane to work with.
It is indeed, Jerry. 3-4 will be a little smelly, though.
He's going to ignore it. Play the ball in the side pocket. No, sorry, I have a hard time telling the difference between the 4 and the 5. And that's the 4 down at the end. I'm not sure what he was thinking there.
Well, he potted the 3 unintentionally. He was playing the snooker, and now he's placed himself in a heap of trouble.
Ah. Oh.
Foul, illegal contact. Europe has cue ball in hand.
Well, the Americans have got a motivational man in their camp. He'll be saying to Shane Van Boening, stay positive. At least you knocked off the 5-9 combination.
Yeah, but he missed that ball by a mile. Holy cow.
You've already used the word, Jerry, from a previous rack. This is a gift.
It certainly is. Getting from the 7 to the 8, the only problem here. And that's no big problem for this man.
He was telling us on day one, Appleton, out in the arena, that in recent times, he's won a whole succession of matches against Van Boening. Maybe this one is going to be another to the collection, and a very important one at that.
This would be the biggest one for sure. Oh, look at that cue ball. Beautiful cueing action from Darren Appleton. This for a 3-1 lead and a race to 5. It's time for nervous arms to calm down on the American side. Van Boening is still in wonderama about this. Of course, he was cueing over a ball, but it's not like Shane to miss like that.
And it wasn't a coat of paint either. That was a way away. And so Appleton, as Jerry said, 3-1 ahead, being congratulated by his teammates. And with this alternate break format, he is breaking in rack number 5. Looking very good indeed for Dynamite. Tell you one thing with him though, Jerry, there's no chance of him becoming carried away.
No, he generates focus from the moment he walks into the arena, and he never loses it until he walks out. He just lives inside those rails. Appleton has such solid fundamentals. You never see him jump up on a shot. You don't see him steer a shot with his backhand. He's just solid as a rock. Every stroke is pure.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is rack number 5. Europe is breaking. They lead 3-1.
Watch that cue ball for the side pocket. It stays up, but nothing else went down. So that brings Shane to the table. No opening shot except a push out. He could try to kick into a safety, but that's risky. He really doesn't want to allow Appleton to come to the table with a shot.
Push out.
He's vastly experienced. He's produced many a comeback in his time, but looking at this right at the moment, his body language doesn't exactly inspire a great amount of confidence. Looks dispirited.
He really does. Darren gave him this shot back. Darren trying to get Van Boening as frustrated as he possibly can. Put more and more pressure on him. Just keep squeezing that vise. Well, that's the way to frustrate him.
Foul. Illegal contact.
Shane
has cue ball in hand.
can't believe what's happening. How can he possibly miss that easy kick?
And it was a snooker that he laid himself, so he must have been pretty confident of being able to escape from it.
Well, yeah, he thought he could hit the lower side of the one and send it up table and send the cue ball down to the other end of the table and at least create distance, but he tried to hit it too thin and missed. You can see he just can't believe what's happening.
And now, what a table for Appleton. When you're nervous, this is the kind of layout you crave. You might not be aware of this, Jerry, but Darren Appleton is from Yorkshire, and here in Lancashire, massive sporting rivalry between the two counties, particularly in the sport of cricket. But I tell you what, when it comes to pool, that trans-Pennine rivalry doesn't exist. He's a much beloved character at the Mosconi Cup, Appleton, and you're seeing the reason he delivers.
Yeah, don't let his on-table personality fool you. He looks very serious and dour when he's on the table, but off the table, he's very lighthearted, easy to get along with. And he's decided, he's so confident he's just going to take on a combination. Quite a bit of distance between the 7 and the 9. There it is. Darren Appleton grabs another one, and he is on the hill.
Mosconi Cup tension does strange things. Shane van Boening, well, the diplomatic word to describe these mistakes, uncharacteristic. Another word, embarrassing. The reigning US Open and World Masters champion is going through the ringer, and he's 4-1 down against Darren Appleton. Appleton needs one more rack to take Europe onto the hill in the overall contest.
We've got a couple of balls in the pockets already, but will the 2 balls set up for a shot? It's close. Shane studying it.
Settle down.
He can make the shot.
Thank you.
Doesn't have to do a lot with the cue ball. The 3 ball waits in the center of the table. Well, once again, he's got a bit of cueing problem here with that 9 ball. Yeah, he needs to think about this. Shape on the 6 is not automatic. He's going to be going across the line of position, so speed is just absolutely crucial. Unless he can figure a way to come out of the corner down there with 2 rails. Oh, he's just going to try and roll right across. That takes great control.
Recovering from a 4-1 deficit in a race to 5 is difficult enough, but especially when it's an alternate break format. If this was winner breaks, whole different scenario.
Van Boening pulls one back, trails by 2, but he needs 3 racks before Appleton gets 1.
Yes, and Appleton has got a potential 2 break-offs left, which is not good news for Van Boening or for the American side in general. They're sitting behind him looking rather glum, understandably so.
Once again, Appleton preparing himself in the chair. He knows he's really, really close. He wants to close it out right now.
He holds the European captain Johan Reischink in very high regard as Darren Appleton, and Johan told us yesterday on air that this is going to be his last Mosconi Cup as captain, and Appleton wants to contribute to a victorious end to what's been a fantastic tenure as European skipper.
Yeah, there's certainly been none better than Johan. There's the man, the European captain who has done so much. Europe trailed in the Mosconi Cup terribly until he came along, and since Johan's been around, it's been nothing but success. He's got a ball down. In fact, he's got 2 of them in the pockets already. But the 2 ball only has about 1/3 of a pocket. No, about half a pocket to work with. That's not much.
Yes, there was a little grimace when he saw the 6 ball stop where it did. Another ½ an inch up the table and it would have been not plain sailing, but much simpler than it is. Especially with the 3 so close to the 8.
Yeah, he's got a couple of problems to solve here. It has to be a perfect shot. It has to be perfect shape.
Extension, please. Thank you.
He could try and spin into the 3-8, knock the 8 away, and have shape on the 3 in that upper right corner, but on a shot this tight, it's a lot to ask for. He's got no pocket to cheat, but he does it. Darren Appleton is playing some of the most amazing pool I've seen.
Magnifico. Well, they call him Dynamite, and where the balls are, I think the fuse is just about to be lit. Boom. 10-5.
Absolutely. These are some of the most confident shots I've ever seen. I mean, everything he hits is going right in the heart of the pocket. The cue ball goes right where he wants it to. He looks like he's practicing in his basement.
He lives in the great state of Pennsylvania these days, does Darren Appleton, but his roots are in Yorkshire. They're in England, and he's European through and through.
This to take Europe to the hill. You blame him for taking a breath here? Appleton puts Europe on the hill. They now lead 10-5 in a race to 11. Oh, America, you've got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and start now.
A fantastic result there for Team Europe as they move to within 1 point from lifting the Mosconi Cup. A delighted Darren Appleton, who's now thrashed Shane Van Boening 9 times in their last 9 meetings, is talking to Andy Goldstein.
Well played, firstly. It was easier than I'm guessing most people would have thought in the end.
Yeah, obviously I knew Shane had come out firing because he's up for the first couple of matches, so obviously we come out strong as well. I was really focused, prepared really well for the match, and just carried on the momentum from yesterday.
He's of course coming out again next. Did you want to come out again next? What's the thinking behind your lineup tonight?
Well, obviously we had the luxury of a 9-5 lead, so we could pick and choose as players a little bit more with the tactics where the Americans, their backs against the wall, they've got to come out with Shane because he's their best player, and obviously Justin Hall's played really well, so they've come out with their 2 strongest players, and we thought we'd all like, especially Neil's fine, like the current world champion, we put him in the middle of the pack just in case, because obviously this year he's probably been the best player in the world, so we have a lot of, but everyone's as good as each other on the day. It's a race to 5, just got to stay focused, relax and breathe.
You'd like to be out there again though, wouldn't you, for the next one?
Oh yeah, especially after drilling in 5-1.
Well, listen, we may see a bit later on because we've got some other games coming up. For the time being, well done. Dynamite Darren Appleton, everyone.
Next time from the Mosconi Cup, it'll be a singles game, and Team USA's fate will rest with Shane Van Boening as he meets Nikos Economopoulos. It's crunch time for the Americans, and Van Boening will certainly be feeling the pressure. Earlier on in the tournament, the American was up against Economopoulos in a doubles match, and the Europeans fought back from 2-0 to go to the hill. Here's a chance to look back at that encounter as the Europeans were 1 rack away from winning another point. We join the action at the start of the 7th rack.
Thank you, rack 7, USA to break, trailing 2 racks to 4.
A good break and layout would come in very handy indeed. The Americans need a boost.
This table has really changed overnight, Bill. Remember all the break-and runs we saw last night? We saw 6 break-and runs in a row. They've been pretty rare tonight.
Yes, the regularity of dry breaks definitely increasing.
Yeah, the dry breaks were really haunting Carl Boys. If my records are right, he had 3 in 1 match.
Well, I think it's been decided they're going to push out. That's quite clear. Now it's a matter of making the choice as to whether they push to a bowl position or keep it conservative.
Now America has to make the decision. Do we want to take this on? If they give it back and the shot is made, oh, that's a mistake. And if they take it and they miss the shot and it's rough, let's face it, Van Boening does not have his usual confidence, or he hasn't displayed it so far this evening. Phil, that looked like a miss, but he didn't play position on the 2, so that was a safety all the way.
And the 1 ball is well guarded here.
Yeah. You can come in, right? Yeah. Fine from the... Have a look. We've got an extension.
Extension called.
Yeah, left English on the cue ball.
He wants to try and pop that ball further off the rail by putting a little left on it. Got to contact the one. Could turn out to be a good shot, or it could be a scratch. He could scratch right off the side of that one into the corner pocket. Whoa. Did not make a hit. America has ball in hand.
Start the clock.
John wants to go for the 3 foul. And did he get close enough to the 7 to take away enough angle to make sure there's no easy hit? Apparently he did not, because Appleton is measuring where he plans to strike the rail with the cue ball, but that looks, wow, that looks awful close. How's he going to get to that place he pointed to on the rail with that? He's aiming it right at it, yeah. Not a great result. He's got a shot into the side pocket, and the 3 ball actually makes that pocket bigger. And, you know, if they want to go for the 3 fouls, he's got safety options available. He goes for the side, using that 3 to knock him in.
Nice table now. The way the Americans have gone about this rack, I think, has been vindicated.
This should be the toughest shot they face, and it's not the shot, it's getting the right shape on that 3 ball. Watch out. Van Boening doesn't look overly concerned, so he must have enough balls that he can work a shot. Oh, yeah. Don't know that he can get to the side, but oh, he can. Six ball is blocked from its obvious. Oh, that was all about trying to get shape on that 6. Now, did the 8 ball prevent this ball from going into the corner? Have they gotten very fortunate here? Nope. Easy combination.
You know, last night, Jerry, even though he won his singles, John Schmidt came off and admitted to shaking like a leaf. He looked very rigid down on that shot as well.
Well, there is no reason the Americans should come back to the table now. You just saw Nico show Darren where he wants the cue ball to wind up. I'm sure Mr. Appleton will be happy to oblige. Should Europe come through with this rack and win this match, it'll be the first time any team is led by a margin of 2.
I think it would be an exaggeration to say it would be psychologically daunting, that scoreline, but certainly psychologically worrying for the Americans. The Europeans in this match made a faltering start. Balls were missed, mistakes were made. Schmidt and Van Boening led 2-0. Now, though, they're on the verge of defeat.
That will be what they call perfect.
Here's a quick start. Shane Van Boening, 45 matches in total in the Mosconi Cup. This looks like being his 25th defeat. Appleton and Nikos Economopoulos come from 2-0 down to win 5-2.
Economopoulos will be hoping to repeat that win here next time when he plays Van Boening again in Blackpool. However, the Americans will be cheering on Van Boening and looking for him to turn their luck around. For now, however, the Europeans are feeling confident and are spurred on by the support of the home crowd. They're now just 1 point away from lifting this year's trophy.